Yes, children. So here's your chapter third. Okay, discovering Tut. The saga continues. Now, I first of all I'm going to tell you that what is the meaning of Tut, what is Tut is, and what the saga continues. What is saga and how it is being continued. Okay. So children, Tut, T-U-T. Tut is a teenager. He's a teenager king, right? And who ruled and died some 300 years ago. So he was a teenager king and he ruled some 300 years ago and he died at a very young age. Okay, he died at a very young age. So discovering Tut here means, what does this mean? That what to discover about how Tut was died, because his death was so mysteriously, he died so mysteriously, and everybody wants to know that how did this Tut, this king, died at a very early age, at a teenage age only he died. Okay, so everybody wants to know the reason. Okay, so there were so many tests, so many scans, and so many other things were conducted, okay, in order to find out the reason behind Tut's death. Okay, so many researchers, historians, and astrologers, everyone came, and even they were what? They were trying to find out the reason of for his death. Okay, so that's why this title is here, discovering Tut. Okay, they were discovering, the reason behind his death. Okay, now what is the meaning of saga? Saga here means a long story. Okay, so children, the story of Tut still continues. Why? Because the people are still finding out the reason for his death. Means the reason is still not confirmed. They are still finding out the reason, okay, for his death. So in this lesson, we will study that what happened to Tut and in what ways, okay, in which ways they tried to find out about his death. Okay, what all methods they have adopted to find out his death. Okay, children, I am warning you again, don't dare write on the screen. Don't do anything on the screen. Okay. He was a teenager when he died, the last heir of a powerful family that had ruled Egypt, for centuries. Okay, now what is there, children? This person, this Tut, okay, he was a what? He was a teenager when he died. He was a teenager when he died, and he was the last successor. Heir, H-E-I-R. I've written the meanings also over here, so you can write it down. Okay, he was the last heir of a what? Last year of the powerful dynasty, okay, which ruled Egypt for centuries. Okay, now he was led to rest laden with gold and eventually forgotten. Now what happened, children? He was led to rest. Rest means buried. Okay, led to rest means buried. So he was buried. Okay, so in those days, what is there? This process of burying the people, okay, inside the grave, that is known as mummifying. At the earlier times, especially in Egypt, they don't bury the people. They used to mummify them. Okay, so this king, this teenager king, okay, this stuff is also being mummified and it's being preserved. Okay, and what is there? It is written over here, children. One thing is written over here, that to rest laden, to where it is, okay, rest with gold and eventually forgotten. With gold means earlier times in Egypt, what is happening when they used to mummify these dead bodies? Okay, what they used to do, they used to fill so many things in that grave. Okay, so this king died at a very small age, so it is also being mummified, it is being buried, and with what? It is being buried with a lot of gold. Okay, so it is being buried with a lot of gold, and after his death he was forgotten. Means after his death, the people, at that time he was forgotten. Now the people started getting research on him. Okay, they started doing research on him, but that time, okay, That time he was buried and then everybody forgot. They didn't even bother that how he did or what has happened with him. Okay. Since the discovery Since the discovery of his tomb in 1922, the modern world had speculated about what happened to him, with murder being the most extreme possibility. Now, what happened, children? That his tomb was discovered, and when it was discovered in 1922. Okay, which made the world raise a question now. Okay, the question is that about what happened to him, whether he had been murdered. Okay, the most possible thing, okay, which the people are thinking now. The people are thinking of this, that what is the problem, how he died. Now, when his tomb was discovered in 1922, the people started discussing. Okay, they want to know that how this king died at a very young age. And everybody came to this, that everybody is discussing the same topic. And the most possible thing was that he was being murdered. Okay, now leaving his tomb for the first time in almost 80 years, the Tut has undergone a CT scan that offers new clues about his life and death. Now, what happened about almost 80 years? Okay, 80 years after his death, his body was about to undergo a CT scan. Okay, we know what a CT scan is. Okay, we do a CT scan of a, not of a dead person, but of a living person. Why? To know the diseases or something which is there in his body. So this dead body, this mummy, okay, this mummy of Tut, okay, after 80 years of his death, it has gone through an CT scan. And why this CT scan has been done? The CT scan would give new information and clues about his life and death, that how he, what happened to him, how he died, okay, and provides precise data for an accurate forensic reconstruction of the boyish, okay, of the boyish. Here is a word, children, pharaoh. Okay, Pharaoh. Okay, this pharaoh is what? The dynasty. Okay, this pharaoh is the dynasty, the Egyptian dynasty that was ruling, the dynasty the dynasty which he belongs to. Okay, he belongs to, this king that belongs to Pharaoh dynasty. Okay, so he was saying this thing, that this clues, the CT scan will help to find out the reason behind his death. Okay, and what is this? And his face would recreate it. Now the forensic, the provide precise data for an accurate forensic reconstruction. Forensic reconstruction means his face is being recreated with the help of the procedure called forensic reconstruction. Okay, by this process, his face is again being reconstructed. See, it is a mummy, we know. But after 80 years, how can we say that his face is being preserved? So what has been done? He has been taken out of his tomb, and then what is that? His dead body has gone through a CT scan. Okay, and what did the persons do? What did the scientists do with the help of a forensic reconstruction? What they did? They recreated the face of this this king Tut. And why this is here? It is written boyish pharaoh. Boyish pharaoh is written because when he died, he was just 18 years. He was just a teenager. Okay. Started. Need to share for the Sorry, children. Okay. So what is this? Boyish Pharaoh. Why it is called boyish Pharaoh, children? Because he was a teenager when he died. So that's why he's known as boyish Pharaoh. And Pharaoh, I have told you the dynasty in which he was a ruler. So that's why it is called a boyish Pharaoh. Okay. An angry wind stirred up ghostly dust devils as King Tut was taken from his resting place in the ancient Egyptian cemetery known as the Valley of the Kings. Now, what is there, children? I just tell you, there was what is happening. I told you that after 80 years, he has gone through a CT scan. Okay, he has gone through a CT scan after almost 80 years. Fine. So what is happening when his dead body was taken out of that tomb? So what happened? A very fast, strange, and unnatural wind was blowing. Okay, when the King Tut's body was taken out from his grave. Okay, and what is his grave called? His grave is called the Valley of Kings. Okay, in Egypt, I told you he was being mummified. Okay, so the area where he was being mummified, okay, that was called as the Valley of Kings. The Valley of the Kings is the name of his grave. Okay, dark billet dark billet clouds had dark-bellied clouds had silhouetted across the desert sky all day and now were wheeling the stars in a cascade gray. Now, children, I have written each and every meaning. Then, too, if you find anything difficult, do let me know. Now, what is happening at that time when his body is taken out from his grave? That time, what is happening? Dark clouds move very quickly across the desert. Okay, and all day long, and later they covered the stars. Okay, I have written the meaning of cascade gray. Cascade gray means that the gray clouds were like gray colored cascades, okay, which contain the stars, and the stars are like jewels which are kept in a cascade. So what is there? The sky, you know, the mummies are in the desert, so whole of the desert is covered with black dark clouds. Okay, and the stars, later what happened, the stars were also covered by the dark sky. So these all things are happening. The wind is blowing very strong, our unnatural wind was blowing that time. Okay, when his body was taken out from his grave after 80 years, and there was a black cloud in whole of the desert, and later the sky was also covered, the stars in the sky was covered with this black clouds. So there was a lot of unnatural things happening, okay, when his body was taken out from his grave. At 6 p.m. on 5th January 2005, the world most famous mummy glided headfirst into the CT scanner, brought her a probe, the lingering medical mysteries of his little understood young ruler who died more than 3,300 years ago. Now, what is this, children, here? It is on January 5th, 2005. What happened at 6 p.m.? Okay, King Tut's mummy, which was the world most famous mummy, was placed in CT scanner to investigate the mystery behind his death. Okay, which had occurred more than 3,300 years ago. So, and on January 5th, 2005 at 6 p.m. Okay, he has gone through a CT scan. His dead body has gone through a CT scan, and why this CT scan has been done? Just to solve the mystery behind his death, just to solve the mystery behind the why this ruler died so at a teenage. Okay, just to solve that mystery, he has gone through a CT scan, and on what, which is the date? The date is 5th January 2005 at 6 p.m. Okay, so they were solving which mystery? The mystery which occurred almost 3,300 years ago. Okay, to solve that mystery, they were just doing a CT scan of that person. Okay, of that king, of the dead body. It is not a person, it is a dead body. all afternoon, usual line of tourists from all around the world had descended into the cramped rock-cut tomb some 26 feet underground to pay their respect. Now, what is happening, children? His body has been taken for a CT scan, right? And on the same day only, on that afternoon only, on the afternoon of 5th January, what has happened? Tourists started visiting, and tourists visited the 26 feet deep underground rock cut tomb or to pay respect to the king. Why they were coming? To pay respect to the king, okay, which has died. Fine. They gazed at the murals on the wall by the burial chambers and peered at Tut's lidded face. Now, what did they do? The tourists which were there, which came there, murals, I have written a painting or other artwork, okay, which was made on the walls, where his mummy was kept, okay, on that wall, many paintings and many artwork has been done. So that artwork is called murals. So what is he saying that, what is the narrator saying here? The narrator is saying that many people stuffed into that small tomb, okay, they just go into that small tomb and looked in admiration. They admired at the painting and the artworks on the walls and chambers, okay, and took a look at the face of a tut, okay, face of a tut that had been painted with gold. So what they are doing, they all were getting, that some tourists, they were getting inside that tomb, okay, they were looking around the walls and they were appreciating, they were admiring the painting and the artworks which was done on the walls, okay, and even they are looking at the face of the tut, which is what, which is being painted with gold. It is being painted with gold, okay. Mummy shaped outer coffin means his, I told you, his body was made, had been mummified, okay. So that mummified body, the face of the shape came on that coffin. So they were looking at that because the body was not there, but they can see that the face is made up of gold, okay. Some visitors read from guidebooks in a whisper, others stood silently, perhaps pondering Tut's untimely death in his late teens, or wondering with a shiver if the Pharaoh curse, death or misfortune falling upon those who disturb him was really true. Now, what is here, children? Some visitors, okay, I told you the visitors started coming. So some visitors were standing there, okay, they were reading, they were there having guidebooks in their hand, and they were reading in a hushed tone, in a whisper. They were reading they were only able to hear, okay, they were just mumbling, they were just reading that, and some are standing silently, okay, and wondering about his ultimate death. They were wondering about the death of the Tut, why he has, sorry, untimely death, that how he died, okay, how he died and why he died so young. So they were discussing, they were just thinking about, they were not discussing, they were thinking about the untimely death of this this teen king, okay. They might also be wondering if the curse on of the Pharaoh, which leads to descend the misfortune upon the person who disturbs him, is true. Now, what is their thinking? Here's a line, children. I'm repeating it again. Here's a line. Wondering with the shiver if the Pharaoh curse. Pharaoh is the Pharaoh dynasty to which this King Tut belong. Okay, death or misfortune falling upon those disturb him. Now, those are those are here who people, the people, those who have taken out the mummy of that Tut from the tomb after 80 years. So the people there, they were standing there and they were thinking that might be the Pharaoh family, the Pharaoh dynasty will, what will do? They will curse. They will curse the people, those who have disturbed this king. Okay, and they were thinking that it might be because of all these things. The weather has changed. Okay, there was unnatural things happening in the desert. So the people are thinking that might be it is true. Okay, that's why these unnatural things are happening in the where in the desert. Okay, this is because why? Because they have, after 80 years, they have disturbed that Tut. Okay, that body of Tut, and because of that, his dynasty and Tut, sorry, and Tut was cursing that people, and they will pay for what they have done. Okay, so there is any doubt, children? If there is any doubt, just clear it right now. If you are having any doubt up till here, just clear it right now. Any doubt? Anybody is having? No one is having any doubt? Okay. I have written all the meanings. Do you want me to repeat the slide, to go back to the other slides? Do you want me to do that, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Which slide? Which slide? Which slide? Right from the first, I write from the first. I'm just doing it again, okay? Wait.